Gotta rank 'em all, Pokemon!
Welcome to Spelunkers, a place for exploring video games and nerd culture. I am Ryan, and this is Gotta Rank 'em All, the Pokemon ranking show where Chris,
Hi,
myself, and a guest every episode get a list of 20 Pokemon spat out to us by our very scientific machine and put them in the most officially arbitrary list of all time. Our guest this week is the lovely Wes of the Great Game Debate. Sir, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to be here.
Hey, thanks for coming on. So, since we're here to rank some Pokemon, why don't you let the people know about your Pokemon Street Cred card?
Well, if anybody follows me on Twitter, they'll know that the #1 Pokemon that will eventually make its way up to the top of this list is my Pokemon, is my profile pic, which is Golduck. I'm a big Golduck stan. I'm sure we'll talk about it maybe at some point during this episode. But actually, I do love Pokemon. I've gotten back into Pokemon since my daughter was born. I played Red on Game Boy. It was the only Game Boy game that I ever owned. I specifically bought a Game Boy Color just to play Pokemon Red. And then I went to college and I forgot that I had a Game Boy Color. And then I kind of just fell away from the series, but I came back to it in the last couple of years and have enjoyed Sun and Moon and as well as Sword and Shield. And my daughter really loves to play Let's Go Eevee. That was like her very first video game. So it's been fun kind of getting back into the series. And yeah, I do enjoy some good Pokemon chat.
Yeah, well, that's all we're here for tonight.
Interesting that you got a Game Boy Color for Red and Blue, but you didn't play Gold, Silver, or Crystal, which were for the Game Boy Color specifically.
Yeah, well, like I said, I ended up going to college, and my mom insisted that I not take any video game stuff with me to college.
That's fair.
So for
That's
the first couple of years I was there, I kind of like fell away from gaming until she kind of forgot about that, and I got myself a PlayStation and a PlayStation 2, and you know, kind of snuck some gaming in again. But unfortunately, the Game Boy Color never made it back into the equation.
Well, yeah, at least you're coming back to it now. And I mean, Sword and Shield, even if they're on the easy end of the spectrum, are some dang good Pokemon games.
Yeah, we're really enjoying them so far.
But tonight, our first Pokemon is not from Sword and Shield. Our first pick to rank this evening is Meganium. Meganium? I've always said Meganium.
I think it's Meganium. I always said Meganium as a kid. Like it's a mega of a Neum, but I don't know what a Neum was supposed to be.
This is the final evolution of the grass starter from Gen 2.
Chikorita, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. See, I knew something.
You got it. You know it. So I like Chikorita a lot. I like Bayleaf okay. This thing is why I don't like this evolution tree. I don't like Meganium.
I feel like it's an uninspired way to kind of try and rehash Bulbasaur. With the big flower and a lot of green.
A lot of green.
It definitely does feel kind of like they were trying to go back to the well with Bulbasaur, with the giant flower around its neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
although
look,
I do agree, I kind of like
green.
the first two. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the back leg, because it's in shadow, that's in some dark green.
Yeah, I don't know, just like the weird antennas I never liked. It's kind of almost bug-like. And there's some bug Pokemon that are cool, but none of them are cool because of antennas, I'll tell you that. Antennas, not cool. Controversial.
And it's very reptilian as well, which is also, you know, similar to the Bulbasaur evolution tree.
Mm-hmm.
We have any interesting
I guess I get those vibes.
entries?
So the fragrance, this is from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. The fragrance of Meganium's flower soothes and calms emotions. In battle, this Pokemon gives off more of its becalming scent to blunt the foe's fighting spirit.
Oh, so it's a pacifist.
Yes.
It just
just what you want in a Pokemon battle.
Just uses like chloroform, however you say that word.
Basically.
That's mildly interesting.
And its breath has the ability to revive dead plants and flowers from Black, White, and Black and White 2.
Wow. I mean, this
So
Pokemon could save our planet. We need this thing here.
We need
Sounds
calming
like
vibes.
Very helpful in a gardening situation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it that. Let's see. Let me get the list. Where are we looking on the list?
It's a good question. Other uninspired, well, maybe not uninspired, but another kind of mediocre design grass Pokemon, Cacturne at 38. I'm willing to go. I think Meganium's a little bit better than Cacturne, but as like a kind of similar point. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I could go above Cacturne. That's fair.
So Bulbasaur is at 31.
Mm-hmm.
So that was our kind of point of reference. So we definitely don't want to go any higher than Bulbasaur, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bulbasaur and its evolutionary tree is much better than the tree from here. I like Bulbasaur more than I like Meganium.
Yeah, and I remember hearing a lot of love for Elekid in the last couple of podcasts. So and Elekid is 37. So
maybe we need to go between Elekid and Cacturne. It's what it's feeling like.
I'm okay with that. Just
Me
above
too.
Cacturne, a new number 38.
All
sounds
right.
good to me.
Meganium
Sounds
number
about
38.
Sounds about right for Meganium. Next up, the only Pokemon on this list this evening that I was not aware of its existence beforehand. Meloetta? Or Meloetta? Meloetta.
Yeah. This is from one of the DLCs. Is that right?
Is that the case?
This let's see. I wrote some notes.
It was in Black, White, and Black and White 2.
Oh.
Gen 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that? How did you get this? Was this an event-only Pokemon or something? I definitely never saw this thing.
It's a mythical, apparently.
Yeah, it's like I had seen it and I had heard the name, but I definitely like never saw it in the game. But maybe I just didn't play that game enough to see all the legendaries. Gen 4 was the last one that I was like hardcore invested in seeing everything.
I played a lot of Gen 5. One of the few generations I had, without cheating, worked my way up to multiple level 100 Pokemon.
So this is a normal fighting type, apparently.
Or it's normal psychic. So there's two forms for this Pokemon. There's
You're right. Yeah.
Aria form and Pirouette form. This is a music Pokemon, so like the hair is like musical sheet paper with the lines, and there's dots across. The hands look like musical notes.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the design of this Pokemon a lot. They really nailed what they were going for with a melody Pokemon.
Yeah. The interesting thing is when it switches forms, it looks like the lady from the Chiquita banana sticker. And it's got the like. It's like hair like changes into like kind of like a giant bun or something. It kind of looks like a fruit thing on its head.
Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah, I see it. It looks like it was an event Pokemon.
Yeah, because I looked at where to catch it, and it says transfer from another game for every single game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it had to be some form of event. No wonder I've never seen it and was totally unaware of it.
Yeah, but like you said, I really like the visual design of it. I wish it was just a normal Pokemon that I could have had on my team at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You got any interesting Pokedex entries?
This is from Black. Its melodies are sung with a special vocalization method that can control the feelings of those who hear it.
Manipulative.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it does have the two styles, and actually it sounds like you can switch between the styles using one of its moves, Relic Song.
Okay.
So it doesn't sound like you have to stick with one type necessarily. You can maybe switch back and forth between forms.
That's cool.
Yeah. Meloetta is able to change forms with Relic Song. Beautiful songs in aria form and graceful dances in pirouette form. which I guess explains the fighting.
Yeah. So, gosh, it's hard because none of us have any personal attachment to the Pokemon, but just based on design and the fact that it manipulates people with its songs, where do we look here?
It also has a 600 base stat, so this thing would rock some fools. 128 special attack and special defense, 100 health, 90 speed.
Yep, it is a legendary.
I think it's definitely in the kind of upper part of the list. How far up is the question, right?
Yeah,
because
definitely.
you have some really strong Pokemon in like the top 10. And then some Gigantamax Pokemon kind of like not too far below that. So, but it is a mythical type, so it's very rare.
Yeah.
So
comparing it to other like mythicals on our list, there's Cobalian at 24. I do like this design better than Cobalian, who I also have no personal attachment to.
Yeah, I've used Cobalian. They're all right. They're not like a top tier legendary. They're an entry tier legendary. I was looking around Oricorio as like another musically inspired multiple form mon.
I would put it maybe above Oricorio. Because Oricorio is kind of just a normal Pokemon, right?
Yes, I would also personally put it above Gigantamax Melmetal. That got pretty high from our guest last time, but I don't think it's even a very good design, frankly.
I think it's all right.
No offense, JG, you're a wonderful person.
I even think I like this thing more than Gigantamax Butterfree.
Really?
Even if I haven't used it, I really like the idea and the design of this Pokemon. I kind of want to go out of my way to put one in a game on an emulator now and try this Pokemon.
Oh, it's not a bad idea. Probably get you through the game faster too, so you can get through every gen this year. Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm okay with that. Above Gigantamax Butterfree, below Reshiram. How do you feel about that, Wes?
I think I could go with that. Yeah. Considering some of the other ones higher up, it does seem like a good place for it.
Sweet. I would say so.
Meloetta number 14.
All right, back on track to Pokemon that we all know. Mudsdale.
Yeah, I like this Pokemon.
Yeah, I like this Pokemon.
Mostly because I used one, and cool. It's a tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also used one.
This is the evolved form of my wife's favorite Pokemon.
The little donkey guy. What's his name? Do you remember?
Mudbray.
Yeah, Mudbray. Yeah, I don't know. She's not super into Pokemon, but she really likes the design of Mudbray.
He's cute.
A cutie.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much we can say about that. He's a big horse. Is he a horse? He's supposed to be a horse, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a riff on a Clydesdale.
Yep. Yeah, it's a draft horse Pokemon.
Yeah, in Sun and Moon, I believe he's like you ride him up a mountain or something like that. He serves some purpose because Sun and Moon was weird in that they had you ride certain Pokemon instead of doing HMs, which thank God HMs are gone.
Mm-hmm. Yep, could not agree more. Yeah, I mean, just a really strong ground type. Good design. Nothing like super fancy. Nothing like out wild design, but like a good design. Faithful to kind of what they were going after. Enough colors to keep things mixed. Like,
yeah, I love
the color scheme of it too. Mm-hmm. It looks really nice with the kind of like the browns and oranges.
Yeah,
like that.
It's a unique like color palette for Pokemon, which is bizarre with how many Pokemon they have. I don't feel like there's a lot of like orange and black, which you'd think there'd be a lot of because that's just straight up Halloween colors. You'd think Pokemon would dive into that well a lot, but they don't.
Yeah. I like the Japanese name, Banbadoro.
Ooh, that is good.
Yeah.
He's got some interesting Pokedex entries as well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Ultra Moon, it can trudge mountain roads without rest for 3 days and 3 nights, all while dragging a 10-ton load. You know how much I love my ultra-specific Pokedex entries. But 10 tons is 20,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Do you have the information on how much this Pokemon actually weighs itself?
Oh, that's a good question. Is that on here?
I'm always interested to see that because some of them weigh like ridiculous quantity. You know, they're like
this one weighs a ridiculous quantity. 8 foot 2 inches tall, 2.5 meters for the non-Americans, 2,028 pounds or 920 kilos. That's a big. That's like the weight of a small car.
Oh yeah, that's a weight of a big truck. I mean, you think about like a 1-ton pickup, right?
Well, I think my 1 ton's about 4,000 pounds. Or I have a half ton.
Sorry.
A 150. Yeah.
So,
no.
Thinking like an actual ton is 2,000 pounds, right? So,
right. Yeah.
2,000. Yeah. Yeah, I love any ground type with a high attack stat, which I don't know if you have the attack stat on hand, but I remember him being slow but high attack stat.
Attack stat's the highest thing at 125, which is pretty good. 100 health and 100 defense, so decently tanky with a good, good amount of health. Even the special defense is 85, but no special attack and no speed, 35 speed. Which
is bizarre for a horse, but makes sense.
But for a total of 500 stats, though, base stat aggregation, that's a good stat distribution.
Yeah, let's put him on this list here. I like him a lot, but what do we even compare him with?
It's a good question.
I know Float
Library
Cell's
went to
another...
a Rockruff comparison.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking, because Rockruff is a pretty base level Pokemon. You know, I think Rockruff has a lot of potential, but as Rockruff as Rockruff is not super great.
He's just adorable.
He's adorable.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's 100% why he's there.
Absolutely. He's great, but...
Certainly, yeah, that Pokemon hasn't come to its true potential yet.
Okay, so comparing him to Pangoro, which is the panda with the little stick in his mouth. I think I'd put him below Pangoro. I love both of them. I've used both of them.
I've only used Mudsdale, but I do like Pangoro's design, and Tyler would probably send a lot of hate mail to us if we continue to drop Pangoro on the list.
I think between Pangoro and Rockruff is probably a good place.
Yeah,
Mudsdale.
That's great.
So Mudsdale, the new number 23.
Wonderful spot. Next up, after Mudsdale, we have Piggy Peck, which is the woodpecker Pokemon.
He's cute.
Wait, he is cute. This thing grows into the toucan?
Yeah, it's weird.
Cannon, yeah. How do you go from a woodpecker to a toucan? I don't know.
Oh, what are you doing, Pokemon?
Yeah. I never used this thing because my brother used one, and we usually try to use different Pokemon to see as many of them as possible. But I really wanted to. It's just so cute, and the toucan is such a weird design, and he has a move that I think is exclusive to him, something about like shooting coconuts or something. That's obviously not the woodpecker here that we're talking about right now, but
I like the Japanese name. It's Tsukera. Anything with Su in it, especially two, because those are the little the running men in the kanji, like the way the word looks.
I'll be honest, I there's nothing that really impresses me about Piggy Peck. I mean, there's a lot of small bird Pokemon.
Yeah. So
I'm just wondering, what makes Piggy Peck stand out compared to, some of the other similar types of this. It's a normal flying type, so it doesn't really have a lot of elemental advantage necessarily.
Yeah, if I was like looking at it, the red stripe on its head is really the only thing that distinguishes it from like a Starray. I think that's the first form of Staraptor. Because otherwise it's just a black and white bird, which is very much that whole tree from Gen 4's normal flying type Pokemon. Oops.
The Pokedex entries might have something for us, with Moon telling us this Pokemon feeds on berries whose leftover seeds become the ammunition for attacks it fires from its mouth.
Well, that fits somewhat into the evolutionary tree with Toucanon. Yeah. Eventually, if it's shooting seeds.
That makes sense.
Learn at an early age.
I love my specific Pokedex entries. It can peck at a rate of 16 times a second to drill holes into trees. It uses the holes for food storage and for nesting.
16 times per second.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fast.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I can do
I don't
16
think I'd
times per
want it
second. I
touching
tried.
me.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Not super impressive. Like a fine, cute bird, but it's not particularly memorable. Its evolution, final evolution, is very memorable, but we can't judge it off of that.
Right, yeah, we're here to judge Piggy Peck.
So, just looking down the list here, we have Fletchinder at 45. How does it stack up against Fletchinder?
I think I like Fletchinder more. I think I like the design of Fletchinder more, and if I remember right, the Pokedex entries were a little more inspiring.
Yeah, a lot of stuff about. I mean, just the fact that it's fire and flying is more impressive.
And
than
I
normal.
think Fletchinder eventually evolves into quite a good Pokemon, right?
Yeah, Talonflame's
Talonflame,
number
yeah.
11 on the list.
So compare that also to Toucanon eventually, which I'm sure is a fine Pokemon, but Talonflame versus Toucanon,
Yeah.
it's kind of not on the same scale, I don't think. So maybe we should be looking below Fletchinder
I agree.
on this.
I'd go.
I guess my question is how low.
Yeah, I'd go quite a bit lower still, I think. Like around the Celio, Pyroar kind of area. Because this is where a lot of our Pokemon are that are literally just like, it's just a real thing that they said as a Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
is just a woodpecker as a Pokemon. I could even go below Remoraid. But I could go above Remoraid and below Celio. Doesn't matter to me.
I mean, I don't mind either. Let's go below Celio for sure. We'll leave the final call to you, Wes. Above or below Remoraid?
I'll be honest, I am not familiar with Remoraid, so
It's a fish.
Remoraid's a little fish that grows up into an octopus.
Yes, that's true.
I'm gonna put a bird above a fish.
Okay.
So
All right.
He would eat the fish.
I think above Remoraid.
That's fair.
All right, so Pick a Peck, our new number 51.
You're in. Next up.
Excellent.
I don't know that I've ever used a Bellossom.
Yeah, I have also not used the Blissey, even though they've been in a ton of the games, mostly because it is a stone evolution. Stone evolutions are usually really obnoxious to use because they learn so few moves after you evolve them. You have to keep them in their second form forever before you use the stone. So that's really the only reason, though. It's adorable, way better than Gloom. Gloom can just F straight off.
No love for Gloom in
Not,
this
not
podcast.
for me.
We'll get there when we get there.
So here's my thing with Blossom. I was looking this Pokemon up earlier today. I find it interesting that the design is very similar to Oricorio. They're both basically like hula dancers.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted to check to make sure I wasn't just like misrepresenting my interpretation of what they were going for. But even reading the Pokedex entries, it talks about its dances and the way it sways and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
it's definitely supposed to be like the hula dancing Pokemon.
So, but that's Gen 2, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's like 5 gens earlier than Oricorio.
Yeah, Oricorio does have like 4 different designs with 4 different
that's true.
Styles of dance. Which skipping straight to looking at the list, I think that puts it below Oricorio for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that it's kind of a troublesome Pokemon to actually get because you have to have a stone,
For sure,
maybe also kind of lowers it down.
I'm going to pick this Pokedex entry specifically for Chris. A Blossom grows flowers more beautifully if it evolves from a smelly gloom. The stinkier, the better. At night, this Pokemon closes its petals and goes to sleep.
The stinkier, the better, huh? I don't know if I agree with that.
So you're saying this Pokemon really stinks?
Yeah.
Saying.
This.
Yeah, it's like it's adorable and it looks like it would smell really nice, but then it just smells like crap.
It's actually just the death flowers.
Oh, sounds like my ex.
All right. Does it have any good? I mean, we've kind of like been talking it down. Does it have any like good features that you guys can think of? Something positive to keep it towards the top of the list, or is this another bottom lister?
Not a great stat distribution. I think the design's just okay.
And the fact that it doesn't have great stats, and it's basically like a fourth evolution, right?
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yep. Doesn't even crack 500.
Yeah,
Not
I think we're
speaking
looking
well for
probably pretty low. I think it's
Yeah.
better than, you know, the ones we were just looking at, because it's not just. I mean, I guess it's just a hula dancer, but that's a little different than just a fish or just a bird. So
How do
maybe
you feel about it compared to Bulbasaur, which is another plant type?
Like Bulbasaur a lot more.
yeah, I'd probably put it below Bulbasaur. I'd put it below Krogonk. Put it below Darumaka just because of the fire turds.
Yeah.
It won't blow away in the wind.
That is a strong
That's-
point
that's
in
a
favor of Blossom.
Over Ghastly. Yeah. I'm feeling that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That sounds about right. New number 36.
Whoop.
Lock
New
it
number
in.
36.
Perfect. All right. Next up, I'm pretty sure this is a bit of a fan favorite, crowd favorite. People love Sneasel.
He's cool.
Yeah, cool design. Dark Ice, which is really fun typing. Gen 2, so you know I'm in love. It's oh my god! I just scroll down to the Pokedex entries. Pokemon Silver, vicious in nature, it drives Pidgey from their nests and feasts on the eggs that are left behind.
Oh, what a beast.
Yeah, this Pokemon's actually kind of a sneaky jerk in terms of like, you know, sneaking around, stealing stuff, eating eggs, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely eating eggs. My goodness.
I mean, he's one of the ones that, like, got a new evolution in Gen 4 and Weavile that is, like, this Pokemon was already pretty powerful, and then Weavile just, like, blows it out of the water and being ridiculously powerful. And I think Weavile even got, like, maybe a Mega Form later or something. Don't quote me on that, though. Not 100% sure.
I will say the design for it is pretty unique compared to a lot of the so-so designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's got that like one ear that's longer than the other, and the like kind of like red. It's got like red, like plume tail or something like that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. 3 like feather tails.
Yeah.
And then that one ear's the same red shaded. I like the gradient on that red. How deep it is at the base and how it lightens up further to the tip. The big old claws are just like, they lead into all the attacking for eggs, extremely vicious, will not stop attacking its foes until it's incapable of moving. And Pearl, Platinum, a smart and sneaky Pokemon. Oh, a pair may work together to steal eggs by having one lure the parents away? My goodness.
Yeah, they hunt in packs. I read that earlier too.
This guy sounds like a Velociraptor, which is pretty fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sneasel is a strong contender.
Yeah.
How's his stats?
Stats are okay for a first I think I
evolution.
scrolled right past it. Yeah, I scrolled right past it. A 430 total, but it's got really high speed at 115 and a really good attack at 95. So you're gonna get in, you're gonna hit pretty hard, you're gonna die if you get hit pretty easy. So you got defense and health at 55. Your special defense is okay at 75.
Yeah, like Weavile, its evolution during my like high tier whatever Pokemon days was very much a like get in a bunch of hits quick or you die immediately because it's terrible defenses, and Ice and Dark has a lot of weaknesses. Particularly fighting is such a popular type and it crushes both of those. It's 4 times effective. So you just get wrecked if you don't kill things super fast.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, looking at the list, how's it stack up to like something like Sceptile?
Sceptile? I like this thing more than Sceptile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Comparing it to something we just ranked earlier, Meloetta, I think I'd put him above that too.
Yeah, I was actually looking around like Glaceon.
That's another ice type. I think I'd go above Glaceon.
You put it above Glaceon, really?
I think so. I think Glaceon is cute, but doesn't have a lot going for it beyond that, for me anyways. And it's such a huge pain in the butt to get. I cannot stress enough what a pain in the butt Glaceon is to get, at least in the original game. I remember it being a big pain in the butt.
Yeah, but at the same time, we've got Talonflame below Glaceon, and Talonflame can fly at like, what would we say, like 310 miles an hour, and like kick dudes like halfway across the country.
How'd Glaceon get that high?
I don't know. who was on that episode?
I don't like this thing more than Mudkip. I think Mudkip's cuter.
Oh yeah, Mudkip is definitely cuter.
That is a line for me.
Factor,
I would think.
there's no doubt, for sure.
Yeah. Also, Mudkip was a meme, like all over the internet for a while. Big meme points. I could go above or below Glaceon. I think I prefer above, but I could go either way.
I think I also prefer above, but I wouldn't be upset with either.
I am not. That's not a hill that I'm going to die on today. So, if you guys want to put it above Glaceon, no problem, because I do know that it's a base form and it does have, you know, at least one we were undetermined if it had a mega evolution, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. 100%.
The list knows.
The list knows all. The list will know.
All right. Yeah, but I think personally, given the choice of like, there's two ice types you can get theoretically in this scenario, and one's Glaceon, one's Sneasel. I'm gonna go out of my way to go for Sneasel. I tend to lean towards dual types over single types. Just extra coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Same.
Next up on the list, we have Shinx, which is the first form. That's right. Luxray is the final.
I like him.
I mean, he's a little feline. Okay. Right, Lynx. Cutie, though.
Yeah, I like all of the like
definitely
electric.
Got the cute factor going for sure.
I like most electric types in general, but especially the electric dogs and cats of the world are all just the best.
So this is a play on like Lynx and Sphinx, right?
I think
like
so.
A Sphinx theme going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like a lion, sort of Egyptian-looking cat.
Yeah, definitely feline.
Yeah, like a little tuft of fur he's got on his head, kind of anime character-ish. The little
gold eyes.
Yeah, the like gold, black, and blue, and the little like plus sign kind of tail. And they're not quite plus signs because they're elongated, but he's got that design in several places on his ears as well.
Even gold pupils, that's actually kind of creeping me out the longer I look in his eyes.
It will follow you anywhere you go in the room.
I like Pokemon Sword's Pokedex entry. This Pokemon generates electricity by contracting its muscles. Excited trembling is a sign that Shinx is generating a tremendous amount of electricity.
That's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
It's a fun way to like have the electrical powers, is the muscle contractions.
I've never used this Pokemon, but Luxray is a pretty popular, strong Pokemon, isn't it? Or is it so-so?
I'm not sure.
This is a Gen 4 Pokemon, Chris.
Yeah. I know I've used one. I pretty sure I had one trained, but I want to say I only used it in UU, which if you know Smokin' rankings is underused. It's like slightly below being incredibly powerful. I think that's where he was, but I'm not 100%.
Okay. Oh, I'm curious to check Luxray's stat total. Shinx's is terrible, but it's a first form, so
Yeah, it's a little baby.
523. You know what? That's a decent total stat. I'm better than Blossom.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But that's Luxray. We're talking about Shinx right now. So, okay, I guess the real question is, how much is Shinx cuteness going to carry it up this list?
I mean, I'll be honest. I would pick this Pokemon, you know, over a lot of these on this list so far. Just on the design alone, and you know, we were already talking about how much we like electric Pokemon. I also very much like electric Pokemon, so I'd probably put him up there.
Yeah, looking at another like cute little animal, Rockruff. I like him more than Rockruff, mostly because I haven't used a Rockruff. But I've used plenty of Shinx.
I like about on par with Rockruff, I would say.
I like it more than Rockruff in terms of the design. The only thing that like holds me back a little bit is my second favorite Pokemon is Lycanroc Midnight Form, which evolves from Rockruff. So, but we're not really here to talk about Lycanroc Midnight Form. That will go on the list later. We're here to talk about Shinx. Yeah. So, I guess I would probably also put it above Rockruff.
Okay.
I'm okay with like right above Rockruff. Or are you thinking higher? Where are you thinking?
I think above Rockruff.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I mean, Pangoro's pretty cute too.
Is he?
And that's
Pangoro is cute. The qualifier.
Oh, sorry, sorry. I'm not. I'm thinking of Pangoro's the evolved form.
The evolved one, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I was getting my my panda Pokemon mixed up.
Pancham is very cute. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, Pancham's pretty cute. Perfect.
All right.
New number 25 for Shinx.
Yeah.
Great showing. Ooh, a classic. Up next with Gyarados.
What do we say about Gyarados?
If you want to whoop some ass, get yourself a Gyarados.
I almost never use Gyarados.
Well, they're a real pain because obviously I think most people know, you know, in order to get a Gyarados, generally you have to evolve it from a Magikarp, which means leveling up a Magikarp.
Yeah, which was particularly painful in those older gens where experience share was either not a thing or just not as useful.
Yeah, and it was, I think it evolves at level 20.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So, you know, that's a whole lot of, okay, throw them in and then pull them back out or whatever, you know, when you do, there's not a lot to work with Magikarp. So
yeah, which Gyarados
can't even like put up a fight for a little while.
It's like Gyarados is powerful, so maybe he's worth it, but there's plenty of other powerful Pokemon that don't take that level of effort.
That also aren't 4 times weak.
Yeah, he is. Is he flying in water even in the original?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. That definitely super sucks.
Yeah, especially for a lack of any sort of flying move, right?
Yeah, no, he's just flying because he looks like, you know, an old, like, Japanese dragon, I guess.
Oh, I'm sorry. At least in Generation 8, he learns Hurricane, which is a flying move at level 44. But otherwise...
Yeah, his Mega Evolution is Dragon in Water and is way better. But we're not ranking him based on his Mega, because that's going to be a separate ranking.
The cool thing about Gyarados, though, is that even though it's not a Dragon type, it can still learn Dragon type moves. So you can still do like Dragon Rage and those kind of things.
Making it helpful for some of those Dragon trainers near the end of a lot of Pokemon games, since you're not getting attacked in an effective manner, but they are.
Yeah, kind of a sneaky dragon. like Charizard.
Mm-hmm. I like the Ruby entry. When Magikarp evolves into Gyarados, its brain cells undergo a structural transformation. It is said that this transformation is to blame for this Pokemon's wildly violent nature.
Oh, so from incredibly stupid to wildly violent.
Mm-hmm.
But does it get any smarter?
Gyarados is just kind of a big jerk, honestly. When you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of attacks anything and everything.
Yeah, Gyarados also most people's first introduction to shinies, because there's a shiny one that you're forced to interact with in Gold and Silver.
In Lake Rage. Yep. Which you can catch.
Yeah.
Is one way you can get a Gyarados without having to train up a Magikarp.
Yeah, I remember it coming at a pretty low level and not being easy to use at that point, though, because you're already at like the 8th gem, I think.
I think it comes in like at 20 or 30 maybe.
And in later games, I think you could catch it. You could like fish for it, right?
Yeah, with the
Super Rod.
The last rod, whichever one the last one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at the list. He's a classic, obviously. He's very powerful. He looks like an old, like, Japanese dragon design, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I really like the design of it. Looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all, like, the Gen 1 Pokemon, he's probably, like, top 3 design-wise for me.
Definitely up there. From Gen
he's definitely
1.
high. So where are we looking on the list? There aren't any Gen 1ers in, like, the top 20 to even compare him to. I'm thinking I probably want him somewhere in the top 20. At least
how would you stack him up against those Gigantamax that you have, 16 to 17?
I like more than Melmetal. I might like Butterfree more than Gyarados. I might like Gigantamax Butterfree more.
I think I like him better than both of them.
I think I got to be honest. I like him better than Meloetta. Also,
Meloetta. I mean, yeah, it's strong design. It's really good.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Reshiram?
The stats are there too, I think.
Yeah. Reshiram, I could also go above Reshiram. Again, we've talked about this every episode, I feel like. Reshiram's got a jet on his butt. We gotta keep that in mind. It's important.
True, that's true. Alright, we'll keep the jet engine. Total stats of 540. Very, very strong mon. Gyarados. And a great showing. Top 15. Barely, but, top 15.
Hey, Gen 1er in the top 15, everybody. We don't hate Gen 1.
That's right.
We did it, everybody. Show's over.
You can stop sending the hate messages. As we now rank Electrode.
Oh.
Okay.
Send the hate mail. If you like this thing, just stop listening, really. You're gonna
if you like this thing, we should send you hate mail.
I hate this Pokemon.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate it. I know we've got Jinx at the bottom of the list right now, but my suggestion would just be to maybe put Electrode just above Jinx.
I'm in agreement. Yep.
It's exactly where I was looking.
We don't even need to talk about how stupid it is. It's an upside down Pokeball. It's a very fast Pokemon. That's all it has going for it.
It just explodes in your face.
Yeah.
Constantly. Like, no thanks.
Yes. Self-destruct and a lot of speed. That's...
If there are Electrode stands out there, write in our Discord channel, and we'll read your messages on the next episode.
Yeah. Doesn't even... I mean, like, every Pokedex entry just refers to it exploding.
That's all it's for.
All right. Next up, Blissey.
I like Blissey.
Yeah, great tank.
Yeah, the evolution to Chansey. She was added in the 2nd gen. Yeah, like you said, very tanky. One of the highest HP stats in the game. If not
the highest.
I think it is the highest.
255. You can't have a higher HP stat. You can only be tied at 255. 10 defense. 10 attack.
Yeah. That's all it's got is HP, but it's like you bring one in that's been properly IV EV trained and it's got like 900 health. It's like, sure, you have no defense, you take 600 damage, but you still survived a move, which is usually all its purposes is to survive a move and do like toxic or something like that.
The special attack and defense are okay though, I think. They're not like great, but they're a lot better than the standard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, special attack 75. Special defense is 135, so special moves even are going to have a hard time dealing damage.
That's interesting.
Man, 255 health, that is insane.
Yeah, so I would think the strategy with this thing would be to send it out with leftovers on and like have a, not a harden, but what's the better than harden? Iron defense or something, if it can learn that. Something that raises your defense stat by 2 that you can just pump 3 times and then just be crazy tank forever.
Now you gotta be looking through the moves that it can learn.
It's also a very caring and kind Pokemon.
Yeah, Chanseys were always
which
like
is nice.
Yeah, Chanseys were always like in the Pokemon centers as one of those caring Pokemon that take care of your Pokemon. And Blissey's just, I mean, Blissey's like Chansey's mom, you know?
Yeah, a lot of these Pokedex entries mention happiness, that its eggs are filled with happiness. Even the most ferocious Pokemon become calm when they eat Blissey's egg, which is said to be filled with happiness. Its fluffy fur coat acts as a sensor, enabling it to read the feelings of people and Pokemon. That's Moon.
Hold on, though. Can we go back a second?
Yeah.
It freely feeds its children to other Pokemon to make them happy?
Well, you know, you don't necessarily know that they're like fertilized eggs, right?
Okay.
I don't know. If you really want to get into the details, they could be like, you know, like marshmallow. I don't know. Maybe it's like a unicorn.
Blissey is 100% female.
100% female. Yep.
So,
I mean, so are
happy.
I don't know. So are chickens, but you know, we eat their eggs, so I guess that's fair.
All I want to know is where can I get some Blissey eggs, because I could use some happiness. You know?
Yeah, I think we all could.
All right, where do we put Blissey on this list?
That's a great question.
Do we
on the list? What else do we have on here that's comparable?
Mudsdale's another big tank.
In terms of stats, I do like Mudsdale better and more personal attachment to it.
I like the design more as well.
I'm kind of like looking around Stuffle, to be honest with you.
You know, I actually think that's the spot, roughly.
Like, I don't know above or below, but I mean, you know, Blissey's got a lot going for it in terms of its tankiness, but you're not gonna put it out there to, like, you know, win a big fight, most likely.
Right.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. So then the question is, above or below, do we like the genuinely caring and loving Pokemon, or the Pokemon that looks genuine and loving but then destroys you?
I like honesty.
I like the memes, so it's up to you, Wes.
I'm gonna put it below Stuffle.
That's what I'm talking about, my man.
Just because I know what Stuffle evolves into, and that sucker's pretty badass. So
yeah. We gotta get Wes back on for the Beware episode. Take a note of that, Ryan.
He's gonna get way too high on this list. Next up, Carnivine the Bug. This is like a flying or a floating Venus flytrap Pokemon.
This Pokemon's gonna be in my nightmares tonight. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he's kind of cool.
The freakiest looking Pokemon I think I've seen.
You don't think that smile's genuine?
Genuinely wants to eat my face. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he kind of like floats in the air with his little tentacle things below him, which, I mean, I'm sure in the actual show or whatever, when they show him, he's probably walking on those. But in the games, his sprite is always floating. I wonder, I guess I've never seen him in any of the 3D games. I wonder what he looks like there.
I'm not sure.
So here's one thing to keep in mind with this Pokemon, and I don't know if this makes a difference or not, but James of Team Rocket had a Carnivine. Which he actually raised from, childhood.
Yes, I watched the show for quite a long time, and I saw a few episodes in this generation, and it would always just like eat him, and then spit it back out.
He throws it out, and it just like tries to eat his face.
Yeah,
that moves it up the list.
That's true. I'm arguing against myself here.
Pokedex entries. Which one did I like? Diamond. It attracts prey with its sweet-smelling saliva, then chomps down. It takes a whole day to eat prey.
I like that. I like that a lot. Wait, it takes a whole day to eat prey. I don't like. I like the attraction.
Like Sarlacc.
Thing, but...
It just like digests it over a long period of time.
Yeah, super slowly.
So we can compare him. I think he's better than, like, way better than Cacturne, but that's a comparison point at least.
Yeah. About Bulbasaur, another grassy.
I'd take Bulbasaur over this guy any day.
Okay. In between Cacturne and Bulbasaur. I agree with that. That sounds about right.
I put him.
And then there's also Blossom, who's another plant type.
I think this guy's more interesting than Blossom.
It's definitely more interesting looking.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Blossom never tried to kill Team Rocket.
That's definitely a point in Carnivine's favor.
Yeah. I think I'd go even above Darumaka, who is the fire turd Pokemon, which I know we all love fire turds. I know we all love it. I like Carnivine though. I like him quite a bit.
I've never used one of these, but I'm okay with. You know what? This might be my Croagunk bias showing, but I'd be okay even with above Croagunk.
Well, Croagunk looks creepy too.
I would be okay with above Croagunk as well, especially because Croagunk is only the first evolution of that chain.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing. Carnivine has no evolutions.
Yeah, he needs one. I don't like solo Pokemon in general. I want all Pokemon to have an evolution.
I would agree. Except for legendaries are okay solo.
Yeah. So are we agreeing right below Bulbasaur?
I'm good with that.
All right. Yep. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. It's Carnivine number 38.
All right, Carnivine, you're going to have some competition as next in the ring we have Machamp. Oh, God! I mean, just a classic. Great design.
What if pro wrestler, but he has 4 arms?
What if pro wrestler, but Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Wait, what came out first? Mortal Kombat
That's
or
a good question.
Machamp? Pokemon Red.
Yeah, specifically whichever Mortal
really
Kombat
stole the
Goro was
design?
in. Who knows? But, I mean, fighting types, I love me a fighting type. I will say I rarely used a Machamp because he is a trade evolution, but then usually, like, if I was with a friend and I was going to trade, it's like, get me an Alakazam. I don't really care about this Machamp business. But really, what other options were there? I guess Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan were the other fighting types. Is there anything else in Gen 1?
Off the top of my head, no.
Nothing that I can think of. I mean, other than the Machop and Machoke. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is definitely the strongest fighting type in the first gen by quite a bit.
So we all know at this point how much I love my specific Pokedex entries. Diamond, it punches with its 4 arms at blinding speed. It can launch 1,000 punches in 2 seconds.
That's a lot of damn punches.
That's some One Punch Man shit, and I am on board for it.
Well, the whole point of One Punch Man is that he only punches once, right?
Well, you haven't seen that series then, Clay.
No, I have not. I thought that was the point of the thing.
He has a special move that he calls consecutive single punches, and it's just him punching ridiculously fast.
Okay, so you said that he punches 1,000 times in 2 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 250 punches per arm. That's like... So we divide that to 1 second. That's 125. Compare that to Piggy Peck's 16 pecks per second, and really, Piggy Peck's just a piece of crap now.
Yeah. Type advantages? Bullshit.
Yeah, that's another thing with fighting types is they don't have a lot of weaknesses. Flying and Psychic, I think, is it.
Fairy? I can't. Fairy.
I can never keep Fairy
not
straight.
Stuck in my brain. But yeah, if maybe Fairy, but that's it. Yeah, there's only a handful. There's not like grass that has a ton. Boatload.
Meanwhile, it is super effective against a bunch of stuff. Rock, ice, dark, normal.
Steel. Yeah. Yeah, fighting's a strong type.
I'm thinking we may have the second gen one up in the top 20.
I think you might be right. I think I would go below Gyarados. I just like the design of Gyarados more.
They're both good
Gyarados
designs.
is badass. I do like this.
I would still put it above Meloetta. God, I can't say that right.
I don't think anyone can.
Melioetia.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think that's a perfect spot.
Number 16?
Right below Gyarados, yeah.
I like it.
Machamp, a strong showing, as would be expected. Next up, a cute little dragon, Dino.
Hey, Dino. It's your boy
This
Dino.
is one of the latest evolving dragons. It evolves into its second form at level 50, and then its third form at 64.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. So it makes me kind of like doubt the value of this Pokemon a little bit because it evolves so late.
I think this
are you gonna really want to stick with that for 50 levels?
If you do that Hydreigon, let me tell you.
Yeah, which gen was this? 5 or 6?
5.
5, yeah. I think Gen 5 was the gen where like you beat the Elite Four in the 70s, so it's not like unheard of, you know, to evolve this guy. And I think when you catch him, it's still really late. Like most of these dragon types are like around the 7th gym, so you catch him probably close to level 50.
Like 40 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say you catch them between like 38 and 44 in the wild, maybe a little bit higher than that. So you're just a handful or two of levels, you know, away from that first evolve point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as if like Dratini evolved at level 50.
Oh, and it's the first dark dragon type, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right. It's blind.
Yeah.
This is black and white too. Lacking sight, it's unaware of its surroundings, so it bumps into things and eats anything that moves.
Sounds like a dangerous catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how it's effective in battle, right? If you can't see what it's going up against.
Yeah, I wonder if this thing was ever in the anime, because they usually adhere to some of this Pokedex stuff at least. Something like that where it's actually literally blind, I would assume they would adhere to, considering its design has its eyes covered. I wonder how that translates in the anime.
It was in the anime. The episode Lonely Dino, 3 Dino debuted under the care of Bobby, who was looking after them for their trainers. 2 of them were very rambunctious, while the third was shy and refused to eat. That's all Bulbapedia tells me.
Sounds great.
I don't know. It sounds like this guy's got a lot of potential, like down the road. I'll be honest, I'm not super wild about the design. It's
all right.
Sort of cute, but it's also kind of dopey looking. It's actually it's got the whatever its hair, whatever over its face.
Yeah.
And it seems kind of plain to me.
As someone who likes that final evolution, I do think Dino is kind of in that Beldum territory. Where, like, we all love Matang, right? The big psychic steel type from Gen 3, but that first form is kind of dopey.
Metagross, but yes.
Metagross, you're right. I'm sorry. Matang's the middle one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably looking down the list.
I think I'd still put it above. Oh, you said Beldum. I think I'd still put it above Piggy Peck.
That's fair. I do think it's a more interesting design still than the... This is a lion. This is a sea lion. Those kind of Pokemon.
I was actually looking just above Luminion and just below Klinklang. Kind of past those. This is just a fish or a lion or a meerkat.
Yeah,
but I do like the gears of Klinkklank's design more than smiley blind Dino.
Okay, I think I agree.
Sorry, I'm just looking up Luminion.
Yeah, it's a fish.
It's a fish with ears, basically.
Yeah, and it walks. It's a fish that walks.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
There we go. Dino, you're gonna get some more respect once you level up, little buddy. Next up on the list, someone who has earned all the respect they need in life and doesn't care anymore, Obstagoon.
This guy's cool.
Yeah.
Detroit, Rock City, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is Kiss the Pokemon, right?
Yes.
Basically. Yep. Gene Simmons
Japanese
himself
name.
even acknowledged it.
Did he really?
He did, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know about this. Like on Twitter?
I don't know exactly where, but he's been quoted as saying, like, apparently, like, Pokemon has been in his house, like, from his kids and stuff, like, from a young age. And so he said that he was actually honored by the fact that this Pokemon kind of embodies his image.
Oh my god, I googled it. Yeah, Kiss star Gene Simmons reacts to his new Pokemon lookalike.
That's awesome.
Says it's flattering to see what appears to be a homage to his demon persona. That's cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. And this is the evolution of the Galarian Zigzagoon, right?
Mm-hmm. That is correct. Yeah, the final evolution. The Japanese name for this mon is a mouthful for someone who doesn't speak Japanese. I'm sure in Japanese it's perfectly fine. Tachifusaguma. It's a long one.
Okay.
I gotta be honest, like I really appreciate what they did with this Pokemon. Like, he just looks like I just want this guy in my team just because he looks so cool, you know?
Yeah.
I should use one. I just started a new playthrough in Shield, and I really probably should pick one of these up and use them this run.
We have so we're about halfway through Shield right now, and my daughter got a Zigzagoon, and I keep trying to get her to use it, but she's just like she wants to use other Pokemon, but I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna really like the way this thing looks when it evolves, but she just won't do it.
Sounds like a commercial for Obstagoon. You're gonna like the way it looks when it evolves.
Oh my goodness. You have any Pokedex entries?
Its voice is... This is for Sword. Its voice is staggering in volume. Obstagoon has a tendency to take on a threatening posture and shout. This move is known as Obstruct.
Does it actually have a move called Obstruct?
Let me look.
I've never heard of that
think
move.
it does.
Is it exclusive to it, maybe?
Yeah, evolution move, Obstruct. Let me see what Obstruct does. This move enables the user to protect itself from all attacks. Its chance of failing rises if used in succession. Okay, so it's
a protect clone, basically, but exclusive.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is this more of like a kind of tanky Pokemon? Usually Protect is like more of a tanky kind of thing.
Defense is its highest stat at 101. It's got a 520 base total, but its stats are pretty evenly distributed. Special attack is 60 at the lowest, but everything else is between 81 and 101. So pretty just medium stats, but a good total overall.
Cool.
Not really a specialist in any one area. All right.
Let's look
For
at the
list, though. Yeah, I like this thing a lot more than what it comes from as Galarian Zigzagoon.
Yep, which we have that at 33, but
Yeah.
we're going way higher than that, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I'm I'm looking, you know, at least above Oricorio, just based on the design alone. I mean, it's just so cool looking.
Yeah, I'd even go above Gigantamax Melmetal.
Need something in between the Gigantamax Pokemon.
You just need something there desperately. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's good. Unless you guys want to argue it higher, because I could be persuaded.
Hmm.
I think I like Gigantamax Butterfree more than I like Obstagoon. So I think that's the highest I'm going to argue for it.
I haven't seen Gigantamax Butterfree. I'm gonna look that up real quick.
It's fair.
Yeah, it's a big Butterfree with very big wings. It's Mothra, like Mothra-sized wings.
I mean, I'm a pretty big Butterfree stan, so you know. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I could do that. I think I could do that.
All right. Obstagoon, number 19.
Fantastic. Great performance, Obstagoon. Next up on the list, less attractive fighting type than Machamp, but Hariyama.
Okay. I can't believe you just insulted my boy like this.
Really?
He's a sumo wrestler. He's cool. Okay, Machamp is like a traditional wrestler. Traditional wrestling, lame. Okay, I know I just insulted all our fans. I'm sorry.
Alex and Bob.
Sumo wrestling, way better. I've never seen a single sumo wrestling match, but I assume it's way better because you do it in Twilight Princess once and it was cool.
So I'll be honest. I thought that this was a Gen 7 Pokemon because I recall from the animated show that Kahuna Hala actually has a Hariyama that he fights with. So for some reason, and it kind of fit that sort of
island theme.
Yeah, that kind of island theme to me.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So I was quite surprised to find that it was Gen 3.
Gen 3 also does have an island theme.
That's true.
To be fair.
Infamous too much water, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Yep. And some wonderful Pokedex entries from that generation. Fire Red Leaf Green, which is Gen 3. It stomps on the ground to build power. It can send a 10-ton truck flying with a straight arm punch.
It's good shit.
That's no 1,000 punches in 2 seconds.
Well, the champ needs 1,000 punches, man. This guy needs 1. That's what I'm saying.
They didn't say what the pressure per punch is, though. We need to know that PPP.
Well, you know they'd specify if it was impressive.
Oh, that's...
Also said he could like straight arm a telephone pole and snap it in half.
Yeah, in Ruby, Hariyama practices its straight arm slaps in any number of locations. One hit of this Pokemon's powerful open-handed straight arm punches could snap a telephone pole in two.
He's a beast.
It's pretty strong.
I don't like this design. I really don't.
I like his design, man. It's just a sumo wrestler, but he's mad. Look at those eyebrows.
I don't like the head shape. I'm not sold. I'm okay with Makuhita, but Hariyama, I was always kind of meh.
Yeah, I'm probably biased because I use these things so many times when I play through that game. It's one of very few fighting types in that gen, I feel like. And I just love fighting types, so of course I used it.
It's fair. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I can feel the room is not going to let me do this, but I personally would put it above Machamp. But you guys tell me where down in the 40s or whatever bullshit you guys want to put up.
I don't know if it needs to go in the 40s. Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily put it above Machamp. But I don't. Again, I'm sorry. I keep coming back to Oricorio. I really don't care for that Pokemon very much, even though it does have four forms. If you put an Oricorio up against, a Hariyama, I would give the win to Hariyama, personally.
Okay, what if we go even one higher, so Hariyama can be in the top 20 just for a second here, and go below Obstagoon?
It sounds to me like Gigantamax Melmetal is not very well loved.
Sorry, JT.
It's okay. You know what? I was able to get Typhlosion at number 1, so I think we can get even for a hot second.
Awesome. Hariyama at number 20.
All right. Strong showing from Hariyama. Next up, another Pokemon where Tyler will begin writing his hate mail as we go to rank Mareep. I have a lot of affection for this Pokemon. I always catch Mareep in Gen 2. They are the electric type I go for every time.
This is a good Pokemon. I agree with Tyler, this is a great Pokemon. The controversial thing I would say compared to Tyler is that I think this is the best the Pokemon gets in the evolutionary tree in terms of design. I don't really like Ampharos.
I think I like Flaffy the most, personally.
I think Ampharos is super powerful, and I use them all the time. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it a Mareep and use it as a Mareep. But
right.
I do think it gets weaker as it evolves in terms of looking at it.
I mean, Mareep is absolutely the most adorable one.
Yeah, very cute. That said, we have been pretty harsh with Pokemon that are just like, hey, this is a sheep.
This is just a sheep.
An electric sheep.
Yeah, he's got like the black and white, or black and yellow design on his ears and his tail, and he's got like the electric rod on his tail as well. Just a little more interesting, but
I don't. I like the design. I think it's super cute. I don't have a lot of experience with Mareep, so I will defer to your judgment on this one, guys. I'm sorry.
What do you have for Pokedex entries?
I like Ruby and Sapphire here. Mareep's fluffy coat of wool rubs together and builds a static charge. The more static electricity is charged, the more brightly the light bulb at the tip of its tail grows. I just learned, I was today years old when I learned that that's a light bulb.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought that was like a rod for lightning rod.
Yeah, apparently that makes about 1 million times more sense considering Ampharos was the lighthouse Pokemon in Gen 2. Okay, so you say we have a lot of, well, this is just a lion, blah, blah, this is just a sheep, but we do have Rockruff rather high, who is just a puppy.
Well, he's a rock puppy that, like, breaks your neck when you hug him or whatever, scratches your neck.
He, like, nuzzles you with his rocks, and they're sharp. This thing could shock you if you pet it the wrong way, because it just shook around enough.
Yeah, I think the difference is, like, you know, we look down at something like Tauros. There's nothing remotely interesting about him. He's just what he is. But then you look at something like, you know, Rockruff. He's a dog, but he's made out of rocks, and there's some interesting, like, Pokedex entries about him being made out of rocks. I think I'd argue the same for Mareep, where it has to be a sheep because its fur creating friction is what creates its electricity for it to be an electric type Pokemon.
It can also like lose all of its wool and grow it all back within a week.
That's impressive.
Something that I read earlier, which is kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Soul Silver entry. In the summer, the fleece is fully shed, but it grows back in a week.
That's pretty neat.
That's interesting. I wonder if they like go into hiding because they can no longer conduct electricity.
It's a good point.
Where are we
now,
looking
as
on the
much
list?
as much as I do have affinity for Mareep, I like Flaffy and Ampharos more, for obvious reasons. I do think the Rockruff area is a good area for Mareep. Roughly speaking, somewhere in there. I don't know exactly, but somewhere in there feels about right.
I think Shinx is a great comparison. It's another electric, adorable thing. I think Shinx is a more interesting design, personally.
I think Shinx is much more interesting. I would say, considering the, I guess, the lack of love for the evolutions of Mareep, I have a lot of love for the evolutions of Rockruff, so I would put it below Rockruff.
I'm okay with right below Rockruff. I love Rockruff and its evolutions as well, along with loving Mareep and Ampharos and Flaffy. But yeah, I think 31's a great spot for Mareep.
Mareep at number 31. Tyler, send your hate mail directly to Ryan, not to me.
Send it to Wes. I will forward it all, Wes. I promise.
All right, I'll keep my DMs open.
Perfect. Next up on the list, remember when I said I didn't know every Pokemon before? I lied. This is Toxel. I don't think I've ever seen this thing. I was thinking of something else when I wrote this name down. I was thinking of a toxic starfish from Gen 7.
Yeah, this is the pre-evolution of, like, God, what's his name? Toxtricity or something like that? The, like, guitarist?
Yeah.
The guitarist Pokemon.
Okay. Yes.
Which, that guy's pretty cool. This thing literally looks like he looks like a baby that just pooped its pants and is like crawling to have its diaper
It is literally
replaced.
a baby Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a baby Pokemon.
It even has a diaper on.
Yeah. It's not It's like, what if your baby was really, really ugly?
And depressed.
And couldn't keep its tongue in its mouth.
And could shock you.
And poison you.
Yeah. Shield. It manipulates the chemical makeup of its poison to produce electricity. The voltage is weak, but it can cause a tingling paralysis. Sword. It stores poison in an internal poison sac and secretes that poison through its skin. If you touch this Pokemon, a tingling sensation follows.
So this is a baby that needs to be taken care of, but if you touch him, your hands start getting numb.
But do we take care of it, or does Toxtricity?
I suppose Toxtricity does, but if we catch one...
Catch one, then you have to take care of it.
It's a fair point. Get some gloves, everybody.
So what kind of curry would you make to feed Toxel? That's what I want to know.
I think if you feed it anything too spicy, you're going to have some...
You're going to be changing some nasty diapers.
Yeah. You'd want to stay on the milder side of the curry for Toxel.
Yeah, good point. I think this guy's low on the list. I
do think... this is the first, to my knowledge, that the Pokemon will evolve into different forms based on its nature. I think that's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, but annoying in practice when you're actually trying to get one or the other in the game.
I think, Toxtricity is pretty cool. No one can deny, but this guy's just not. Yeah, and I could be wrong. Do you have the move list pulled up for Toxel?
I can in just a moment.
I was trying to find it earlier, and everything I could find, and maybe what I was looking at was just wrong, but it showed that, like, it didn't get any new moves, basically.
It learns nothing. It learns all 7 possible moves at level 1.
Yeah. So, you're basically stuck with what it's got until you're able to evolve it.
This might be worse than Electrode.
Yeah, God, I was thinking about, we put it, maybe just barely above all the Pokemon that are just, fish and stuff, but, I think this thing actively sucks.
Yeah, genuinely, especially with that learn set. That is... And it has very, very, very few TMs it can learn, so basically you're stuck with whatever you have until you evolve it, which is level 30.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Yeah, I'd go below
least,
Tangela. I still
at least if you had a Tangela, you've got something to work with. This guy, I don't think you've got a whole lot. So, yeah, if you want to put him above Electrode, that's fine.
Yeah, that's somewhere near there though.
Yeah, Toxel. And Brian, if you're watching, may I suggest Toxel as a name for your child?
Toxel Keese.
Has a certain ring to it.
Yeah, it's an acquired taste, much like the poison inside Toxel. Next up, Malamar, which I think is a really cool design, a really cool Pokemon. This is an upside-down squid. It's dark psychic.
I love this guy.
Its Japanese name is Calamanero, which I don't know if you've ever had calamari.
Mm-hmm.
I think Calamanero is a better name than Malamar.
I like that name more, but I like how close it is to calamari for squid legs, and this is a squid.
Yeah. This guy's super cool. He's got a very demonic face. He looks like he wants to hurt you. That's his only desire, is to hurt whoever he's looking at. I used one, super strong. One of a pretty rare breed of like physical psychic types. It's like him and Gallade and maybe a handful of others that I'm not thinking of, but not a ton.
I think he's probably one of the genuinely coolest looking Pokemon that I've seen.
Yeah, like this
the
could
design
be
is just really unique.
This could be like an anime villain, and nobody would bat an eye.
He actually was a villain in the anime. He and, like several times. There was like one Malamar, and he kept like coming back and causing problems.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. They kidnapped like Ash and a bunch of the other characters and like.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So an evil psychopathic Malamar appeared in A Conspiracy to Conquer. It appeared to be under the control of a woman named Madam X, but in reality it had hypnotized an Officer Jenny to pose as Madam X. While it was defeated in the end, it escaped. Malamar reappeared in Facing the Grand Design along with two other evil Alamar, where they attempted to initiate their plan of world conquest.
This guy's a beast.
And then
He's
some
amazing.
like good Malamar teamed up with the good guys to help put an end to him. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool
great.
Pokemon. Yeah. The weird thing about this one is the way that you evolve it.
Mm-hmm. Was this the one where you flipped it upside down? Or you closed it?
Yeah,
you flipped it upside down.
It evolves from Inkay at level 30 when you hold the 3DS upside down.
Yeah, there's a handful of those. There's another one that like evolves when you close the 3DS, which I don't know how they translated that to the Switch later, and I don't even remember what Pokemon that was. But yeah, I love this thing. I used one, super powerful, super fun. I don't know what else to say about it. I'm looking really high. For me, on this list, what we have on it right now, he would be number 1.
Whoa. That's pretty dang high.
That is high.
Quite high.
I think he's up there. That's for sure.
I think he's better than Gyarados. For another water type that we... This isn't even water, is it?
No, Dark and Psychic.
Dark Psychic. But it's a squid, so...
Looking at another Dark type, Sneasel. Better than Sneasel, right?
I like this thing more than Sneasel.
It's definitely better than Mudkip, right?
Yeah, Mudkip's got the memes, but this guy eats memes for breakfast. Let's be real.
Yeah. And then spits them back out, and then hypnotizes you with his own memes so that you do his bidding.
Another Dark type on here, Zorua. Better or worse than Zorua? You guys are nowhere I sit.
I think it's better than Zorua.
Yeah, I think it's better than Zorua also. I mean, Zorua looks like it transforms into a cool werewolf, but...
Zoroark's pretty cool, yeah, but Zorua's... I think I like Corviknight more, but I like this more than Articuno.
Okay, I can accept that.
I can go with that as well.
All right, Malamar number 4, but number 1 in my heart.
It's fair. I mean, Typhlosion's number 1 in my heart, but he's number 7.
He is actively eating my heart while he's number 1 in there, but that's fine.
I mean, it's better than having Kadabra in there and giving you constant headaches. Next up on the list, another Gen 1 for us to rank and make everyone upset, Pidgeotto.
Pidgeotto's cool, but it's just a slightly less cool Pidgeot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Pidgeot a lot. I've used a lot of Pidgeots in my day. But Pidgeotto is just cool. It's fine. It's a decent middle evolution. It's not an actually bad middle evolution.
Yeah, some middle evolutions have those teenage growing year energies that they're ugly. Is what I'm saying. This one doesn't have that. It's a little better than that.
The only thing about Pidgeotto is that I have nostalgia for Pidgeotto just because of the anime.
Yeah.
And you know, in the first 2 seasons of that show, Pidgeotto was a pretty heavy player, and he actually evolved into Pidgeot in the last episode of the 2nd season, at which point I believe Ash released him.
Yeah, and then I was like, why? What the fuck is wrong with you, Ash? And
there's
then,
a lot of things wrong with Ash.
He, I don't remember if it was before or after this, but he, gave away a shiny Noctowl to some observatory or something at some point, too. It's like, you're just giving away all these cool Pokemon. What's your problem, dude?
Yeah, that's another podcast.
That's why it took him so long to become champion, you know?
Yeah, he refuses to keep training anything other than an effing Pikachu, which its stats are maxed already. It's not going anywhere, bud.
Yeah. I like the Fire Red entry here. The claws on its feet are well developed. It can carry prey, such as an Execute, to its nest over 60 miles away.
That's a long way to go for lunch.
I mean, you know, you gotta eat healthy, though. All right.
I think it's a solid Pokemon, but not like a great Pokemon.
So I'm looking at another middle evolution flying that we have on the list with Fletchinder at 56. I think this is a lot better than Fletchinder. Or at least a bit better than Fletchinder. I like this more than Fletchinder.
Yeah. I guess, mostly for the nostalgia I like it more, I think. But I think that
I was going to say, that's probably nostalgia talking, but...
But we're all nostalgic for Gen 1, and even with the nostalgia, we still have quite a few Gen 1s way at the bottom of the list, so I think that's fair to give it that little bit of nostalgia boost.
So I'm looking at Blipbug. I don't know much about Blipbug.
He's a nerdy bug.
But
a little nerdy bug's got a bow tie.
I feel like a Pidgeotto would eat a Blipbug.
I mean, they execute, so...
Yeah, I'd also put him above Cacturne. I'd put it above Meganium. I actively don't like Meganium.
I mean, I would put it above Meganium as well. I'd put it above Naganadel.
Where is that?
49.
49. I was scrolling way up, I thought you were jumping.
Well,
yeah,
if you're gonna go in a fight against a Ghastly, you know, you bring a Pidgeotto and just have it cast. It's not magic. Have it use Whirlwind or something, and
just
end that fight.
I can go above Ghastly. You know, I can go above Blossom.
I could also go above Blossom.
I can also go above Blossom.
I think that's good.
Fire Poop.
Fire Poop is the cutoff. Pidgeotto.
Sorry, Pidgeotto. You're not as cool as Hot Hands of Poop.
All right. Pidgeotto, number 46.
Yeah. I think Pidgeot will show a little bit better, but that's better than Pidgey would have done. Another Gen 1 flying type up next. Doduo. The twin bird Pokemon.
Sort of flying.
Yeah, well, you know, kind of.
Yeah, it's weird. Him and Dodrio do not fly, but they are flying types.
Yeah.
and they can learn fly, which doesn't make any sense. They just like jump up really high and land somewhere else, I guess. He's got 2 heads.
Yeah, he does have 2 heads. He's got 2 brains. Like apparently can like telepathically talk to each other or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, Sapphire Doduo's 2 heads contain completely identical brains. A scientific study reported that on rare occasions there will be an example of Pokemon possessing different brains. Wonder if that's like twins. It's weird. I like the entries for Silver and Crystal. For Silver, it races through grassy plains with powerful strides, leaving footprints up to 4 inches deep. Crystal, it lives on a grassy plain where it can see a long way. If it sees an enemy, it runs away at 60 miles per hour. So, things hitting highway speeds.
Not bad for an unevolved Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's actually, I was reading that the Doduo is actually faster than the Dotrio.
Oh, really?
That extra head.
Yeah, I guess that extra head's just adding wind resistance or something.
Wind and weight. It's
yeah, looking at the list, I like Pidgeotto more than Doduo.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of fondness for Doduo. I think it's kind of a ho-hum Pokemon, personally.
Yeah, at this point I already had a flyer in my team most of the time. I don't think I've ever really used a Doduo.
Yeah, Doduo comes so much later than Pidgey or Spearow, which even Spearow, Fearow, like, I usually wouldn't use. I would almost always go Pidgey.
Yep.
I'd go below Sewaddle. Below Fletchinder. I could go even lower if you guys want.
Well, we talked about Dino earlier, and that's a pretty strong Pokemon, I think, with a lot of potential. Okay. I would probably put it below Dino.
I'm okay with that.
I think thinking about like the potential from a low level, like a first stager, I like Dino more. So, but I do think this is a little bit cooler than Lumineon. That's just a fish.
This guy's got 2 heads.
With ears.
With its
ears.
With the ears.
4-inch footprints and
60 miles an hour running speed.
Yeah, I mean those are pretty good.
I want to see Lumineon cruise at 60 miles an hour down the highway.
Yeah, come on.
Down the highway.
Running on its little fin feet. Come on, Lumineon. All right, that brings us to the end of our scientific machine list. Wes, you have brought us a Pokemon to rank.
Yes, I would be remiss if we didn't discuss Golduck. And
there it is.
I'm a little nervous about how this is going to turn out. I'm not expecting number 1, but I am expecting number 2. I'm just kidding. No, but Golduck is my favorite Pokemon, so I'd love to talk about Golduck.
Yeah. Absolutely. I like Golduck a lot. Underused in my opinion. Yeah, even in my own experience.
I don't have a lot of experience with Golduck. I don't use them very often, but I liked Psyduck a lot in the anime because it was just very stupid, but would sometimes be ridiculously powerful and like decimate opponents.
Yeah. So I'll state my case for Golduck really quickly. So like you said, with Psyduck, you have this kind of like unreliable Pokemon that can sometimes become very powerful. But when he evolves into Golduck, he basically becomes a super badass and extremely competent and extremely like loyal and he's got a kind of an air of bravado about him. Like he's very just confident in himself and his abilities, which can get him into trouble occasionally. But he does have some very powerful moves. Like he's actually not a psychic type. He's actually only a water type.
Really?
But he can learn psychic type moves.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. And he learns some pretty powerful water moves as he levels up. And so he's one of those Pokemon kind of like, he's like a good companion Pokemon. I feel like. So you think about like a Pokemon like Lucario or something like that that kind of like stands by your side. And that's kind of the same way I think about Golduck. He's like he's there. He's in your corner. You work as a team. He's not just some, commodity Pokemon that you use to get through a fight. He's your buddy, your partners. So
yeah. So it's the difference between Psyduck and Golduck is like Gohan before getting into the hyperbolic time chamber and after. That's what I'm hearing.
Pretty much. And there's a real good GIF out there if you just look in Twitter or something and just put in Golduck, and Golduck just like basically like this, and he just goes ah, and just shoots this gigantic like humongous. It basically looks like a Kamehameha out of his forehead.
That sounds great.
With the Psybeam, which is one of my favorite moves to use with him.
Oh my god!
It's one of the coolest looking things that I think I've seen in the Pokemon anime. He also likes to give people thumbs up, which is really cool. So he'll like
that
make
is
and
cool.
go.
Where was he like in the anime? Was it Misty's Psyduck evolved?
Yeah. Basically, at some point, Misty Psyduck finally evolved into Golduck.
Oh, cool.
And she got a better Pokemon out of it, in my opinion.
All right. So, on the list, I would go above Gyarados for sure.
Yeah, I like this more than Gyarados. I like this more than Mudkip.
More than Mudkip. Okay.
Yeah.
I accept that.
I love Golduck. Surfetched is pretty far up there for me as well. I just love the Surfetched design. I don't know if he goes above that or not.
Then how do we all have Shield? How does everyone we know have Shield, Chris?
Yeah, everybody loves Surfetch, but everybody has Shield.
So my daughter really wanted that Galarian Ponyta, which is why we ended up. I wanted Surfetched, but she wanted the Ponyta, and so we ended up
That's
having
fair.
to go with Shield. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I like that. Number 10. That's a very strong showing.
Yeah. I mean, I really should use more Golduck. They're wonderful, great design. I do like the case you laid forward, Wes, because standing at 5'7" and weighing 170 pounds, this is like very, very human in size, right? So it's a Pokemon you could just like hang out with after the battle, right? Go to camp, make some curry.
yeah, absolutely. You could pop him out of the Pokeball, go for a hike.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I will say I wish it was a psychic type. I wasn't aware that it wasn't a psychic type, but it learns a lot of strong psychic type moves, and I'd like to have that stab. But I guess it eliminates some weaknesses not having the psychic type as well.
Yeah, it's a plus and a minus, right? So.
Yeah, everything's a pro and a con.
No, I can live with that. Number 10 on the list. That makes me happy.
There we go. All right. Another 21 Pokemon ranked this time. Wes, thanks so much for coming on, dude. This is a blast having you.
No, I've had a great time. I'm so glad that you guys asked me to come on. This is so much fun.
Yeah. Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Sure. Yeah. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Mecharecca, Mecharecca. You'll see the Jolly Golduck staring back at you, which is my Twitter profile pic. And you can also check me out over at the Great Game Debate. We have a Discord server that we run, a group of gamers that just like to hang out and talk games and keep things jolly and have a good time. We have a podcast too, Great Game Debate podcast. We'd love if people check this out there. And you can find us on Twitter at Great Game Debate, which is Great Game Deb, D-E-B, and then number 8.
Great bait, mate. No, it's wonderful. It's a great podcast. I need to catch up on all of them. I've only listened to a handful on YouTube while I'm playing games, but it's a great group of guys you got over there. Good voices, good opinions, good podcast derailing.
Yeah, we have a good time. We keep it loose and fun. So,
yeah,
awesome.
Chris, do we have things to plug?
Well, of course we do. We should plug really quickly that every Tuesday you stream Pokemon. Since this is a Pokemon podcast, people might want to watch that.
That's right. Right over at twitch.tv/Spelunkers. I'm making my way through one entry of every generation of Pokemon. Last episode, we got 3 badges in Pokemon Yellow. We need 1 more badge, and then to get through Victory Road and onto the Elite Four. So we're pretty close. I might wind up needing to do some grinding off stream to make the Elite Four more viable, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Or just use some cheats. Just saying.
Maybe.
Get yourself a Golduck and then go in. You'll be fine.
That's true. Get yourself a level 100 Golduck and throw everything else away. And and then it is also the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil, so we're celebrating that anniversary as well. I'm playing Resident Evil every Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. I just finished Resident Evil Remake this past week. I'll be starting Resident Evil 2 Remake very soon, so come check that out as well.
Nice.
Fantastic. And of course, always our game explorations, where next week we're going to be recording, well, like, oh god, I never remember when these come out. We're going to be finishing up with Outriders soon. And next up is RE8 and Death Stranding. So if you're like me and don't want to spend money on a thing that will scare you, you can play Death Stranding with Tom and I.
And if you're a cool person and you like Resident Evil, you can play Resident Evil 8 with me, Tyler, and 3 guests.
Yeah, Tom and I also have a handful of guests that we have yet to announce. Until next week, everyone, when the scientific computer machine that somehow appeared in my back room spits out a list with 20 more Pokemon on it, have a great week. We'll see you next time, and gotta rank 'em all.
Gotta rank 'em all, Pokemon!